Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. Can I please have your attention for the acting executive mayor? Thank you very much. You may be seated. A warm welcome to everybody for the council meeting of April. This morning we have the honor of being blessed with the presence of Dominee Shanae Viljoen van die NG Kerk Grootbrakker 4 en ek gaan onmiddellik vir haar gee om voort te gaan. Baie dankie, kan net die liggie druk.
Goeiemôre, dit is vir my 'n voorreg om vanoggend hier by julle te kan wees. Ek het die uitnodiging ontvang om vandag hier saam met julle te kan verder gesels, maar ek vra dat julle my sal verskoon wanneer ek klaar is. Ek het ongelukkig ander verpligtinge in Grootbrak waarby ek moet uitkom. Maar is my steeds so groot voorreg om vanoggend hier saam met julle te wees en saam met julle te dink oor die woord van die Here. While I was at university in the Free State, I used to have a lecturer that always said he will never quote the most recent book he read, as if to give him a chance to linger upon the words, to reflect on the words, and he always said he will give himself 3 months to think on those words. The theology he read, and he will actually give himself time to ponder on those words to help him reflect and build his own opinion on those words. I struggle with that. I hear something insightful, ek hoor iets wat vir my regtig sinvol is, en dan wil ek graag met mense dit deel, en deur dit te deel, help dit my ook om my gedagtes te vorm, en vorm het ons almal se lewens. So dis ook die teks wat ons vandag saam lees, is 'n teks wat die afgelope tyd baie met my praat, wat ek baie al gehoor het in die afgelope 2 weke, en ek deel dit graag vandag met julle, want ek glo, die Here sal deur sy gees ook vandag met elkeen van ons praat. Ek lees eers vir ons Psalm 127 uit die Message vertaling, en daarna gaan ek die Afrikaanse vertaling lees. Die Message sê, if God doesn't build the house, the builders only build shacks. If God doesn't guard the city, the night watchman might as well sleep. It's useless to rise early and go to bed late and work your worried fingers to the bone. Don't you know he enjoys giving rest to those he loves? Don't you see that children are God's best gift, the fruit of the womb, his generous legacy? Like a warrior's fistful of arrows are the children of a vigorous youth. Oh, how blessed are you, parents, with your quivers full of children. Your enemies don't stand a chance against you. You'll sweep them right off your doorstep. Die Afrikaanse vertaling sê dit, as die Here die huis nie bou nie, soeg die bouers te vergeefs daaraan. As die Here oor die stad nie wag hou nie, bly die wagte te vergeefs wakker, te vergeefs dat julle vroeg opstaan, eers laat tot rus kom, kos eet wat moeisaam verkry is. Net sowel gee hy dit aan sy geliefdes in die slaap. Kyk, seuns is 'n erfdeel wat van die Here kom, die vrug van die moederskoot is 'n beloning. Soos pile in die hand van 'n krygsheld, so is die seuns van jou jeug. Gelukkig is die man wat sy pylkoker met hulle gevul het. Hulle sal nie beskaamd staan wanneer hulle met vyande in die stadspoort woorde wissel nie. Ons hoor in hierdie teksgedeelte 2 fokuspunte wat die psalmdigter Salomo eintlik vir ons wil kom uitlig. Die heel eerste fokus gaan uit en uit daaroor dat as die Here die huis nie bou nie, wanneer as ons fokus nie op God is nie, is dit alles te vergeefs. En hy maak dit eintlik vir ons duidelik dat dit elke deel van ons lewe in beslag moet neem. Dat God oor elke deel van ons lewe moet heers. Eerstens praat hy van die huis, en dit sluit elkeen van ons in. Daar waar ek daagliks is, daar waar my veilige ruimte is, as God nie daar regeer nie, is dit te vergeefs. Maar hy gaan dan verder en sê in die stad, daar waar ons elke dag beweeg, waar ons werk, waar ons werksaam is, tussen ons gemeenskap, as ons nie toelaat dat God daar heers nie, is dit ook te vergeefs. En dan gaan hy verder en praat oor die bou van die huis, dit waarmee ons elke dag besig hou, dit wat ons hande besig hou. As God nie daar regeer nie, is dit te vergeefs. Dit laat ons dink ook aan die woorde van Prediker, wat sê alles kom tot niks. Maar Prediker se fokus is, alles kom tot niks, as ons nie in verhouding met God leef nie. En dan gaan hy verder in hierdie psalm, en hy kom herinner ons aan hierdie tweede deel, wat eintlik vir ons 'n uitbeelding van die seën van die Here is, 'n blessing. Wanneer God in ons lewe heers, ervaar ons God se seën. Sien ons hoe God aan die werk is. Hy praat hier van die huisgesin, die kinders wat die seën is vir die samelewing, die moederskoot wat 'n seën is wanneer dit vrugbaar is. En dit gaan nie so seer daaroor dat net mense wie kinders het seën ontvang nie. Dit gaan meer daaroor dat wanneer ons lewe volgens die Here inrig, dan ontvang ons die seën van die Here. Dan sien ons hoe God aan die werk is. En dis my gebed ook vandag, nie net vir hierdie vergadering nie, maar vir elkeen van julle in julle persoonlike lewe, daar by die huis, daar waar jy elke dag beweeg, die mense met wie jy elke dag in aanraking kom, dat jy God voor oë sal hou, dat God in jou lewe sal heers, sodat jy ook God se seën, sy blessing, sal kan raak sien. Ek wil graag 'n oomblik neem, dat ons stil raak, en vra dat die Here ons oë vandag ook op hom sal rig. Kom ons raak stil. Here ons God, vandag is ons woorde soos die van Moses daar in die woestyn, aan die begin van hulle woestyntydperk, waar hy sê, Here, as U nie saam met ons gaan nie, moet ons nie hiervandaan verder laat trek nie. Help ons om ons oë op U gefestig te hou in alles wat ons doen, hier waar ons vandag saam is, saam vergader, ook waar ons hiervandaan gaan wegbeweeg en gaan leef in ons gemeenskappe. Mag die wêreld U liefde, U regverdigheid, U getrouheid in ons lewens raak sien. Nie oor wie ons is nie, maar omdat ons oë op U gefestig hou. Ons vra U seën oor hierdie vergadering, dat elke besluit ook hier tot eer en verheerliking van U naam sal wees. Ons vra U seën oor elke persoon wat vandag hier sit. Here, lei ons, dra ons en bewaar ons, Here, want U weet wat in ons lewens aan die gang is. U weet wat by die huis gebeur, wat ons nie graag vir die wêreld wil vertel nie. Seën ons met 'n bewustheid van U teenwoordigheid. Ons vra dit in groot afhanklikheid en in nederigheid van U. Amen.
Baie dankie, Dominee Viljoen, vir die gepaste woord wat U vanoggend met die raad gespreek het. And thank you very much for your time. You did make an apology that you will have to excuse yourself, and I understand that people like yourself has got hectic schedules in the community. So I do not have a problem in excusing yourself, and best of luck for the work that you are doing. Thank you. Acting Executive Mayor, all members of council, the municipal manager, all our directors present, the support staff, Ronel, our sign language interpreter, our language interpreter that is online, members of the public that is joining us today virtually, a warm welcome to this council meeting. Our attendance register is circulating. Can I have an indication where it is? Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. We then have applications for leave of absence on Romans 3. And I have received apology for the council whip. Councillor Blau, the executive mayor, as you all know, the mayor is abroad. Councillor Lodewijk Kutsia and then Councillor Bavuma. I did not receive any other apologies. I note that the PA councillors, both of them are absent. However, Ronel is also on sick leave, so I'm not sure if they perhaps submitted an apology to Ronel, but I did not receive anything. If you can please make a note of that. Then councillors, in terms of Rule 42, in the absence of a council whip, we have to elect for the duration of this council meeting and also the special council meeting, a whip to act on his behalf in terms of Rule 42, 1 and 2. It reads as follows: if the whip is absent or not available to perform the functions of a whip or during a vacancy, the council must elect another councillor to act as a whip. I now call upon proposals.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will propose Councillor Thabo Mvumvu.
Can I please have a seconder?
A second, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Is there any counter proposal? No objections? Agreed to. Councillor Mvumvu, you will act as the council whip for the duration of this council meeting. Thank you very much and congratulations. Councillors, we then move to Romans 4 on our agenda, the disclosure of interest in terms of Schedule 7, the Code of Conduct for Councillors in terms of the Local Government Municipal Structures Act of 2000. Is there any councillor who wishes to disclose an interest on the items on our agenda this morning? None. Thank you very much. We move. Roman 5, the disclosure of benefits in terms of Schedule 2, Section 5, Code of Conduct for Officials of the Local Government Municipal Systems Act of 2000.
Speaker, there's none to disclose. I just want to mention under point 3, if you'll allow me, that our CFO is on leave, but Mr. Yanni Fourie is acting in his place.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yanni, and welcome to the council meeting. We are then at Roman 6 on the agenda, the confirmation and signing of previous council minutes. The minutes of the open council meeting held on Thursday, the 26th of March, 2026, with the folio numbers 3538 to 485. Can I please have a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I did propose the item. Thanks.
Councillor Delamain, thank you very much. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, you do. Councillor van Dijk will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Any corrections? None. Thank you very much. We move the minutes of the special council meeting that was held on Tuesday, the 31st of March 2026, folio numbers 4858 to 599. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Yes, Madam Speaker, Councillor van Dijk will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. May I please have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I do second the minutes.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leo, Anton, Alderman Anton. We then have the minutes of the special council meeting that was held on Wednesday, the 15th of April 2026, with folio numbers 5998 to 616. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the minutes.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain. Can I please have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Councillor van Dijk will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. I'd also like to make use of this opportunity to welcome our guest that is seated in the gallery. Warm welcome to yourself and also to our media representative. Sibu, thank you very much for being present in the council meeting. We then move to Roman 7 on the agenda. Cognizance of the Executive Mayor's and Deputy Executive Mayor's resolution in terms of their delegated authority as provided for in Section 591A of the Act on Local Government Municipal Systems Act of 2000. Before Council, we have the following items. Item PE 34 to PE 47, item FC 18 to FC 24, item G11 to G16, item CS 21 to CS 29, items T13 to T18, item CG10 to CG13, and then UB 2020 UB 2020 to UB 26. My apologies. And then also item E84. Can I have a proposal in that regard, colleagues?
Yes, Madam Speaker. I will propose. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk, for proposing that Council take cognizance. Can I please have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I do second all those items.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain. Any corrections? None. Thank you very much. We then move to Roman 8 on our agenda. It is the cognizance of the municipal manager's resolution in terms of his delegated authority as per council resolution as provided for in Section 591A of the Act on Local Government, which is the Municipal Systems Act of 2000. And before council is the following items GM11 to GM19. Can I please ask for a proposal?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the item.
Alderman Delamain, can I have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I will second. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Is there any issues you wish to raise under item 8? Thank you very much, Councillor Buddha. You may proceed.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I'm looking for GM50 and GM80 spoke about the cameras. Madam Speaker, as we saw, if you walk around all the area, we find other areas that's very safe. Really, we want Mossel Bay to be safe. But we don't want one side to be safe, another side is not safe. If you walk in Lulufori Drive till Hattingford is safe, and other side in what you call in Denap and so on. Can we make sure the greater Mossel Bay is safe by installing all the camera, even in Kwanongaba, Dalmita, Joslov, all the area to make these people safe and then happy? I think that is a rule. Thank you very much, Speaker. Can we do that? We know that we must follow what you call the procedures of establishing the neighborhood watch, working with the CPF, and then after that, we can just go forward. We know those things. So can we make it that? So that everybody is safe in Mossel Bay, because when the load shedding strike, then really we find that even the cable of the electricity, they've been cut, people they've been robbed, people they've been killed. We want that.
Thank you very much, Councillor Buddha, for raising that point as a comment. Municipal Manager, take note of it. I don't know, Councillor Van Dijk, if you wish to respond, or you just also taking note.
Councillor Baron.
All right, sorry, I didn't see your light, Councillor Baron. Are you on the same item?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say that we are busy with the minutes. We can't give answers of stuff that is nothing to do with the minutes. It's just minutes. It's right or wrong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Thank you. Ja, raadslid Boeddha het natuurlijk moest nou skepskop ook daar gevat. Ja, and MM says that he is a senior councillor also. Maar nee, dat is recht so. We take note, you've raised an important issue, but we take note of what you have raised. And I'd also like to invite you to visit Councillor Van Dijk at the Jock Center so that he can also talk you through and take you through what is in place and what will still happen in terms of the cameras. Thank you very much. We then at the communications of the Executive Mayor, and in his absence, the Acting Executive Deputy Mayor will give his speech to Council. Thank you very much. Alderman Byman, you may proceed.
Baie dankie, Speaker. Goeiemôre aan almal. Speaker, Raadsame Vanolia Fortuin, burgemeesterskomiteelede, raadslede, die munisipale bestuurder, meneer Colin Puren, direkteure van Mosselbaai Municipaliteit, die ondersteuningsnetwerk van die amptenare, inwoners en die media. Dit is vir my vanoggend 'n baie groot voorreg om namens ons burgemeester voor u te kan sit en die volgende aan die voor te kan hou. Ons is aan die einde van Vryheidsmaand en Mosselbaai gaan steeds voort om groter geleenthede en volhoubare ontwikkeling vir ons gemeenskap te bevorder. In die verband wil ek graag 'n verskoning maak vir die uitvoerende burgemeester. Hy is tans in Ethiopië, waar hy Mosselbaai Municipaliteit verteenwoordig by die 12de Afrika Streekforum oor volhoubare ontwikkeling wat tydens 'n Verenigde Nasies konferensie plaasvind. Dit is ook benoemenswaardig dat hy op Dinsdag 28 April sy verjaarsdag gevier het, 'n dag wat hy deurgebring het terwyl hy in diens van ons gemeenskap Mosselbaai op internasionale vlak verteenwoordig het. Hierdie geleentheid is van groot waarde, aangesien dit Mosselbaai op die internasionale arena plaas, verhouding vestig en versterk met sleutelrolspelers en geleenthede vir toekomstige vennootskappe en belegging skep. Mosselbaai Municipaliteit is verheug deur die grondgebied waarop in Ruiterbos 'n bosbougemeenskap feitelik aan die spits van die Robinson Pas aan Mosselbaai Municipaliteit oorgedra gaan word. Ons dank as munisipaliteit gaan dan ook aan die Nasionale Departement van Openbare Werke wat hierdie oordrag moontlik gemaak het. Dit beteken dat die inwoners van hierdie gemeenskap nou toegang sal hê tot munisipale dienste deur ons munisipaliteit wat hul lewensgehalte wesenlik sal verbeter. Dit sal ons as munisipale leierskap ook bemagtig om hierdie gemeenskap beter te kan ondersteun. Hierdie historiese stap is 'n belangrike mylpaal in die bevordering van beter toegang tot dienslewering en plaaslike ontwikkeling vir al die landelike gemeenskappe binne die groter Mosselbaai munisipale gebied. Deur hierdie oordrag kan die munisipaliteit nou behoorlik beplan, infrastruktuur ontwikkel en dienste lewer wat lank reeds nodig was aan 'n gemeenskap wat grootliks weens nasionale wetgewing van munisipale dienste uitgesluit was. Dit is 'n tasbare bewys van ons verbintenis om alle gemeenskappe deel te maak van groei, vooruitgang en geleenthede, ongeag van waar hulle woon. Voor ons vanoggend dien die geleentheid van hoe ons groter toegang tot onderwys, veral vir ons heel klein kindertjies, kan bevorder, deur die oorweging van huurooreenkomste vir 3 dagsorgsentrums in verskeie dele van Mosselbaai. Hierdie besluite weerspieël ons verbintenis tot belegging in vroeë kind-jeugontwikkeling. In dieselfde asem wil ek net noem dat ons oor die naweek, terwyl ons nou van kinders en die jeug praat, het ons oor die naweek in die media verneem van 2 verdrinkings op Santos strand. En nou, dit is, terwyl ons dan nou aan dit werk, is dit vir ons belangrik om ook aan die families te dink, wat 2 tieners aan die dood dan nou afgestaan het, as gevolg van die verdrinkings, en dat ons vir hulle in gebed hou in hierdie hartseertyd. In dieselfde asem ook natuurlik die dametjie wat in 'n motorfietsongeluk omgekom het. Ons vra ook dat u aan hulle as familie dink. Ek vertrou dat die raad hierdie item in die beste belange van ons kinders en ons gemeenskap sal oorweeg. Vandag moet ons ook besluite neem oor kernvennootskappe met Mosselbaai Toerisme en met die gesamentlike operasionele sentrum, oftewel die JOC. Die gesamentlike operasionele sentrum speel 'n sentrale rol in die bevordering van veiligheid en sekuriteit in Mosselbaai. Die veiligheid van ons inwoners en besoekers bly 'n topprioriteit, aangesien dit direk bydra tot 'n stabiele, leefbare en toerismevriendelike dorp. Deur doeltreffende samewerking en volhoubare vennootskappe binne die JOC-struktuur word misdaadvoorkoming, noodreaksie en koördineerder tussen rolspelers versterk tot voordeel van die hele gemeenskap. As voorsitter van ekonomiese ontwikkeling waardeer ek toerisme se beduidende bydrae tot die ekonomiese groei en ontwikkeling van Mosselbaai as 'n ikoniese toerismebestemming. Daarbenewens is veiligheid die fundament van 'n vooruitstrewende gemeenskap en daarsonder is ekonomiese groei skaars moontlik. Danksy hierdie vennootskappe is Mosselbaai vandag een van die veiligste en vinnigste groeiende dorpe in ons land, wat verdere belegging natuurlik aanmoedig. Mosselbaai is ook Suid-Afrika se nommer 1 toerismebestemming en ons moet seker maak dat hierdie vennootskap beskerm word. Beleggings soos die Garden Walk Mall, die winkelsentrum wat onlangs geopen het, as ook die Nurture Rehabilitasiesentrum het 'n groot impak op ons ekonomie en werkskepping. Dit dra ruim by tot nuwe werksgeleenthede en om die plaaslike ekonomie te versterk. Dit bevestig die belangrike rol wat die plaaslike sakegemeenskap hierin speel. Laastens, maar nie minstens, wil ek ook stilstaan by Werkersdag en baie dankie sê aan die Raad vir hul harde werk, toewyding en die tasbare impak wat dit daagliks op ons gemeenskap het. Die besluite wat hier geneem word, vorm die grondslag vir dienslewering, ontwikkeling en 'n beter toekoms vir Mosselbaai. Ek wil veral erkenning gee aan ons munisipale personeel wat dikwels agter die kollig werk om te verseker dat dienste voortdurend en op standaard, indien nie selfs beter as standaard nie, gelewer word. Infrastruktuur onderhou word en ons dorp gevestig bly as die voorkeurkeuse vir inwoners en semigrante. Julle toewyding en deursettingsvermoë maak 'n werklike verskil in die lewens van al ons inwoners. aan alle inwoners wat bydra tot die groei van ons dorp, sy ekonomie en die welstand van ons gemeenskap. Julle arbeid, vaardighede en opofferings is die dryfkrag agter ons vooruitgang. En ons sê vandag baie dankie aan julle elkeen se beskeie bydra. Baie dankie dat julle na my geluister het. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Acting Executive Mayor, for sharing your message with Council. This morning we take note of the achievements, and we are also saddened by the losses, and we think of the families, of the bereaved families. So thank you very much, Acting Executive Mayor. We now move to the communications of the Speaker, and this morning we have an award that we would like to present. So in the gallery this morning we have the Mossel Bay Initiation Forum, and I would just like to share something with Council. It is with great pride that the Mossel Bay Municipality honors the Mossel Bay Initiation Forum under the leadership of its chairperson. And please, sir, if I do not pronounce your name correctly, please, I apologize in advance.
Mr. Nkululeko Mkuzulwa.
Mr. Nkululeko Mkuzulwa. That's correct? Thank you, sir. Together with the dedicated committee members, and they are seated also in the gallery, they are truly unsung heroes who work diligently and selflessly to ensure that our young men participate in initiation schools twice annually in a manner that upholds tradition, dignity, and safety. The Mossel Bay Initiation Forum was recently awarded a certificate of appreciation by the Western Cape Government's Provincial Initiation Coordination Forum in recognition of its outstanding contribution to the preservation and management of cultural initiation practices in the Western Cape. We are immensely proud of their commitment to safeguarding initiations and commend the Forum for having conducted initiation schools over many years without incident or injury to any young men from our communities. Your dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to cultural responsibility do not go unnoticed. We encourage you to continue with this important and commendable work. I now invite the members of the Mossel Bay Initiation Forum to come forward. Jonas, sal jy gou vir hulle wys hoe hulle moet stap asseblief? Baie dankie. Together with the Acting Executive Mayor and the Municipal Manager for the presentation of the certificate. I would also like to invite Alderman Boyson to join the photo ceremony. Thank you very much, Tertia, and I'm going to ask the Acting Executive Mayor to hand the certificate over to the chairperson. Can we give them a round hand of applause, colleagues? I think they're doing an excellent work to safeguard the young man without any incidents. Colleagues? Huh? Okay. Gentlemen, if you can please exit that door because we're gonna take another photo with the municipal banner. Director Niall, you can go, Councillor Boyson. This is not for a smoke break, colleagues. Let's just get order. MM, kan u vir die foto gaan asseblief? Baie dankie. U kan later moet raadslid om konto 'n woordjie deel.
No ladies.
Ja, ja. Dankie. Ons gee vir julle 3 minute aan Sunay. Hulle 3 minute, dan moet hulle terugkom. Dan gaan ons begin met die raadsvergadering, hoor. Baie dankie. Thank you very much, councillors. I would like to congratulate the executive mayor in his absence. He had his birthday on the 28th of April, and we wish him well, and I'm sure that when he returns, we will definitely all receive cake. And then Councillor Botha, he also celebrated his birthday on the 2nd of April, and warm wishes also to Councillor Botha. Councillors, we have a long list of members from the public who have sadly passed on, and we also would like to add the 3 names that was mentioned by the acting mayor, so that we can think of the families that is in mourning, and I would like to ask you to please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You all may be seated. We're then on Roman 10 of the agenda, Municipal Manager, Acting Mayor. Was there any written questions received? Ik ga nou veel geleentheid gee. Was there any questions
No
received?
questions, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much.
None, Speaker.
Thank you very much. We are then at the agenda, and I notice the light of the council whip, the acting council whip, Councillor Mvumvu.
Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Morning.
At the end of the ordinary agenda, I would like to bring a motion of exigency with your indulgence under Rule 57. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I then rule at the end of the open agenda that we will then have the motion, and please do remind me thereof. All right. Thank you very much, councillors. We then at the agenda for this morning. On page 617, the first item. Het is nie vandag die skerms aan nie. Thank you. Item E85, the approval of the Audit and Performance Audit Committee, terms of reference. We have the recommendations listed from 1 to 3. Can I ask for proposer, please?
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman Furness. Good morning to you. Can I have a seconder?
Morning, Madam Speaker. I will second the item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Setunsha. Is there any comments or questions of clarity from this item? I see the light of Councillor Baron. You may proceed, Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Speaker, before I give our position as the Freedom Front Plus, I just want to say a few things within this document. On page 632, uh, 8.2, page 632.82. The committee, firstly, I want to say we welcome the different changes that was made to this document, because it assists us as council. It gives council more oversight. It gives this internal committee or this external committee also a better oversight. So that's why I want to read the following. Have direct access to the council of the municipality. This committee have direct access. This committee have access to the office of the mayor, and this committee have access to councillors for good reasons. That is one of the comments that I want to read, and the other one is on page 630 that says the chairperson of the audit committee should submit a copy of its report at least annually or at other intervals to the Municipal Public Accounts Committee, MPAC, for consideration during the MPAC engagements on the oversight report. And then 5.4, the MPAC in discharging its responsibilities may make use of any information provided by the audit committee to avoid duplication of its efforts. And then the last on the first page 617, page 617, the purpose and the background, the third paragraph. In line with these requirements, the Audit and Performance Audit Committee undertook a comprehensive review of its terms of reference during August 2025. The revised terms of reference incorporates updated provisions relating to combined assurance, internal audit oversight, performance management, risk management, internal control, and reporting obligations to council and the Municipal Public Accounts Committee. Speaker, is as gevolg van die feit dat die Municipal Public Accounts Committee en die Audit Committee moet interaction het met mekaar, is die enigste rede hoekom ons nie die item gaan ondersteun nie. Ons sê dit vir die afgelope klompie jare, dat die terms of reference van die audit, van die impact committee moet verander word, sodat hulle kan hulle oversight rol speel, en hulle kan dit nie speel nie, omdat is baie duidelik volgens die dokument, dat hy 'n oversight rol saam met die audit committee, en huidiglik sê die terms of reference by impact, hulle het no powers. So, for that reason, Speaker, we will abstain from this item. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron, and for informing Council why the Freedom Front is abstaining from the item. The point was well taken, and the MM also took note thereof. Is there any other councillor who wishes to give input on the matter? Councillor Kibbet.
Morning, Speaker. Morning, everybody, all the councillors. For the same reasons, Speaker, the ACDP also abstained from the item. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Kibbet, and for putting the ACDP's position forward. Does the ANC want to go on record?
Speaker, thank you very much. There is no threat in this item. That is why we're quiet. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Buddha. Colleagues, we do have a proposer. Alderman Furness proposed the item. It was seconded by Councillor Setunsha. We have on record that the Freedom Front is abstaining and the ACDP is abstaining, and with a majority vote, the item does carries. Thank you very much. We then move to the next item. Item E86, the lease and management of the Joint Operations Center in terms of Section 78 investigation, the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, number 32 of 2000. We have the recommendations before Council, listed 1 to 5. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Madam Speaker, Nikki Leroux.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux, for proposing. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to second this item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg. Opening up for comments and questions of clarity. I see the light of Councillor Baron and then Councillor De Boula in that order. Councillor Baron, you may proceed.
Speaker, I think, can I ask him to go first, Speaker? Then I will be after him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor De Boula. Councillor Baron is giving you the opportunity to speak first.
Inkosi Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, akukho ngxakitheni kule item as ANC. Kodwa esizanako si-ANC. Isicelo sethu sithi njengoba ijoke ikhona, i-operator, isingasi operator kuyo yonke indawo. Ize nezinto ezizifacts ezichaphazela ukuhlala. Because siyayibona iya-reporta, but fuma kune-area, Speaker, apho inga-report ikhona ijoke. And okwesibini, Speaker, as siyazi ijoke isebenza kakhulu nge-cameras, siyacela, Speaker, sizi-councillors ze-ANC, nxa sicela ijoke into yobana nxa izofaka i-camera kwe-area zethu mayisithinte ukwenzela uba sibonise kwezi ndawo zinobungozi for ukufaka ii-cameras. Ndiyathanda ukwenza umzekelo la wadi yam. Phayana sinenabhudo wathi phaya laa nto ke newadi 1 eBarcelona. Kune-area oku-dangerous kuzo abe kusaphosa cameras khona. Sinecamera ekhoyo ewadi 1, Speaker, ne epha ngaseGqunu straight in between iGqunu neJozi. Ipole imfitshane. Ayiboni yonke la area iphayana. Ndandicela into yobana la pole if uyibona uba ijogging akulaa ndawo mayinyuse ipholibende or ithathe ikamera iyofaka ku-high master light epha egqunu so that ijoki izokwazi ukusebenza yonke ibone yonke into efanele iyibonile ngoku nayikwazi uyibona yonke into eyibonileyo nazi iikhomenti zethu lapha asinangxaki ne-item asinangxaki nejoki but nesicacisa ikhansile ANC as ANC masimanyele nxa sithetha yijoki kwenzela uba kuzokwenziwa yonke umsebenzi ngondlela erayithi so that owethu umasipala azobonakala ukuthi uyikhathalele into yabantu nazi ikhomenti apha because speaker nandininzi noyithetha kangako apha inkosi.
Thank you very much, Councillor Debula, for your comments made. You are not against the item, however, you are speaking to the fact that the job needs to operate in the whole, in all of the wards. And I would propose that you please take the issue that you have up with the municipal manager. It's not on the agenda. The issue of the poll, please direct it to the municipal manager so that we can follow that up. But we do take note of your comments and that you are not against the item. Councillor Baron, you may proceed.
Speaker, thank you. To be very honestly speaking, is that we need more information. We are not clear. We read this item over and over, and we are not sure what will going to happen now because according to our understanding, it was a NPC, was standing loose from the municipality. We are not sure, is the municipality now saying, no, we want to take the jog and make it our property. And yeah, let somebody just explain for us more information before we make our decision. Thank you for you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Is there any other questions? If there's none, I am going to ask Mr. Prince just to give insight in terms of the question raised by Councillor Baron. Mr. Prince, you may proceed.
Chairperson, as stated under the recommendations, in terms of item 2, there are two reasons. Namely, the one is that the Auditor General is looking at the making of donations, firstly, and secondly, the involvement of the Jog Centre. If you remember correctly, it started off very small and is now a central part of the safety network in Mossel Bay, the Mossel Bay area. So we come now to a point where we have to make a decision on the future of the Jog, and in order for Council to make that decision, we need permission to proceed and getting that information and to submit a full report to you for consideration. So what I'm saying at this stage, you making just a principal decision, proceed, investigation the current situation, see which is the best way in future to deal with the Jog, and come back with a report to us so that we can make an informed decision on this. This recommendation, Speaker, I may just add, is a starting of a process in terms of legislation, and that's a process in terms of Section 78 of the Systems Act. So what we do is we need to go through the whole process, tick all the boxes, and submit all the information to you as Council to make informed decisions. So that's the essence. So what is going to boil down to, Councillor, just as conclusion, is you're going to have three options that we're going to look into. Either we're going to carry on or to proceed with the Section 67 donations, or it can be that it will be a better option to render the service internally, and then lastly, of course, to go out on tender and do the service externally. But for you to decide on those three mechanisms, you will need all the information, and we must do a study on that, including the financial implications, taking into consideration the views of the unions, taking into consideration the views of the public, etc. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prince. Councillor Baron, I will allow a follow-up.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes, Madam Speaker, that's how we also thought the process will go. But the one important thing, the 78 investigation that will be held, it can be either way, it can be either internal or external. And it will be good if it is external, so then We don't need to come back and fight all the time about NPCs and all the wrong stuff. So that we can be clear as council, this is the direction that we need to go in. So without any problems, without any fights, because we was fighting this thing for so long. This 78 investigation is actually the end of this thing if we do it correctly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. So you're not in support of the item?
No, we support the item. We just say do it externally from experts. Let we do it right. Thank you.
That's a process that council will follow. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you very much, councillors. I do not see any lights. I did not hear any objections, except from the clarity that Councillor Baron has raised. He has been provided with an answer. If there are no objections, we agree that this item carries unanimously. Everybody comfortable? Thank you very much, colleagues. Item E86 thus carries unanimously. We had item E87, Mossel Bay Taxi Holding Area at Dalmeida Phase 2, shifting of project funding. We have the recommendations before council. Item recommendation 1 to 2. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Councillor Baron, Freedom Front Plus, we will propose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Is there a seconder?
I will second, Madam Speaker, Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leon van Dijk. Opening up for comments or questions of clarity from council members. No objections, agreed to. The item carries unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. We then move to our next item. Item E88. The lease of building and provision of tourism service in terms of Section 78 investigation, the Local Government Municipal Systems Act, number 32 of 2000. We have the recommendations listed from 1 to 5. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Madam Speaker, you do, Nick Leroux.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leroux, for proposing. Can I have a seconder for Councillor Leroux?
Second Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Claassen. Opening up for comments and questions of clarity from council members. I see the light of Councillor Baron. You may proceed.
No, Madam Speaker, we are in support of this item. We just hope that after the investigation, we are finished with this NPC also. Thank you. Another NPC that is down. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Taking note of your comment made, and thank you for being in support of the item. Is there any other councillor who wishes to raise any questions or have any objections? No objections, agreed to. The item thus carries unanimously. We then move to item E89. Participating municipalities committee meeting, feedback on the progress of construction of the regional landfill site for April 2026. The recommendations listed before council is from 1.1 to 1.7. Can I please ask for a proposal?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I propose the progress report.
Thank you very much, Alderman Boyson. Can I have a seconder for Alderman Boyson?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Wellman. Is there any questions of clarity from this report? None. Thank you very much. Council take cognizance thereof. We move to item E90. Application for assistance in payment of advertising cost related to the application to lease a 506 in Herbertsdale, situated at number 16 Springbok Street by the Herbertsdale Creche, Happel Squilkie. We have the recommendations before council from 1 to 4. Can I ask for a proposer?
Yes, Madam Speaker. I will propose item E90 of April 26 for approval.
Thank you very much, Acting Mayor. Can I have a seconder? Thank you very much, Councillor Claassen. Is there any questions on the item from any councillor? No objections, agreed to. Thank you very much. The item thus carries unanimously. We move on to item E91, National State of Disaster, Drought and the Possible Interruption of Water Provision. Feedback report for March 2026 for Council to take cognizance of that report. Can I have a proposer?
Yes, Madam Speaker, you do. Councillor van Dijk will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do second the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain. Is there any questions of clarity? I see the light of Councillor Buddha and then Councillor Liebenberg. In that order, Councillor Buddha, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in our understanding, we have 3 dams, which is Wolverdans Dam, Robertson, and Klippivel Dam. And also we have a desalination plant. Are we saying that is a threat of the drought in Mossel Bay? Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Director Naidu. I am gonna allow Councillor Liebenberg also to pose his question and then you can answer. So Councillor Buddha asked, we have various dams in the Mossel Bay area and the desalination plant, and he's asking if we have a threat in terms of water provision. Thank you very much. Councillor Liebenberg, you may also pose your question.
Speaker, baie dankie. Ons weet ons werk met gemiddeldes en een reënbui kan alles verander en ons hoop daarvoor, ons bid daarvoor. Maar ek het nou net so vinnig na hierdie kolom gekyk. Die dam, Wolverdans dam, het hierdie maand met so om en by 2.88% gedaal. Nou, ek het nie al die statistiek nie, maar ons het ongeveer in die opvangsgebiede gemiddeld van 60 millimeter reën gehad, en dit gee vir ons so om en by 12%, ek sê weer, ek werk maar net met gemiddels, om by 12% van die jaarlikse reënval. So 12% van die jaarlikse reënval, ons dam het 'n verlies gehad van 2.88%. My vraag is deur u, ook aan Director Naidu, wat is ons daaglikse gebruik vir Mossel Bay? En dan hoe vergelyk dit miskien met 2 jaar terug se gebruik? Dankie, Speaker.
Thank you very much for your question, Director Naidu. Those are the 2 questions for you to respond to. You may proceed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Speaker. Currently, the Wolverdans dam level is around 55.7%. That's the latest stats we received. Now, in terms of the water conservation and demand management policy, you don't look at the Wolverdans dam in isolation. You have to look at what the combined capacity is. Now, you take the Wolverdans dam, the Klippivel dam, and the Ernest Robertson dam. Now, Mossel Bay also receives water from a substantial amount of water from the Klippivel dam. Unfortunately, the Klippivel dam is very, very low. It's below 20%. And the reason for that is the main intake pump station has been dysfunctional for quite a while, and now the Department of Water Affairs has appointed the municipality as an implementing agent, and we are busy implementing a project there. That project will only be completed about a year down the line. Now, if that dam was fully operational and the intake pump station was fully operational, the dam would have been at a much better level. Now, we don't have that benefit now, and we rely only on the Wolverdans dam. The Ernest Robertson is a very, very small dam. You know, if you say you have 100% there, just to give you an indication, it's less than one, it's a fraction of the Wolverans Dam. You know, the Wolverans Dam is about 24 million cubic meters. The Ernest Robertson Dam is actually less than 1 million cubic meters. Now, it's so small that you can't really be dependent on the Ernest Robertson Dam. So, yes, we've had rain the last couple of weeks, but because Klipjewel Dam is not in operation, it has, it does not have a significant impact on the combined available sort of capacity for the municipal area. Also, we must bear in mind that the bulk pipelines between the Wolverans Dam and the water purification plants is the responsibility of the Department of Water Affairs. Currently, they're using PetroSA to maintain those lines. Those lines are also not in very, very good condition currently, and there's always restrictions, there's pipe bursts, etc., which is beyond our control currently. Yes, we have the desalination plant, and as I've indicated previously, the desalination plant is very energy intensive. It uses a lot of electricity. Now, just to give you an indication what it costs, if you use water from the dams, it costs you around 10 rands per kiloliter. If you use water from the desalination plant, it costs around 24, 25 rand per kiloliter. So you need to recover that money from somewhere, and then it means increasing the tariffs. At a later stage, we will have to consider that. If there's no improvements in our dam capacities, then we will have to consider revising the water conservation and demand management policy so that we use the desalination plant, not when the dam level drops to 40%, but maybe when it's 50% or so, then we will start the desalination plant. The desalination plant is used now and then during emergencies. In fact, just to give an indication, over the last 15 years, we've used it on 16 occasions. But we don't always advertise it, that we're using a desalination plant, because people, there's lots of unnecessary questions around why we're using an expensive plant when, there's no water, or there's cheaper water from the Wolverans Dam. But as I said, it happens during emergencies. If there's a breakdown, you have to quickly switch to another source of supply. So the desalination plant is available, but it's only used during emergencies. And also the question was, what is our current usage or demand? During the off-peak period, we use around 26 megaliters per day. And then during the peak, we go up to about 31, 32 megaliters per day. I might just add that there's a growth of around 2% per annum. And I have the figures, I don't have it in front of me now, but if there is growth around 2%, then around 2034, we will reach our full capacity, full available capacity from, we will reach our full available capacity. And at that stage, you'll have to look at whether you can, you have to look, if you don't have other sources of water, then you have to obviously put a moratorium on developments and all of that. So based on the current growth, we are okay till about 2034. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Naidu, for your responses to Council. Councillor Baron and then Councillor Mkontu. You may put, and apologies, Councillor Leon, Councillor Baron, and then Councillor Mkontu. Councillor Leon, you can proceed. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, with your indulgence, just to add and maybe to inform Council, is that quarterly we meet as a disaster management forum. We are then advised of the potential risks, and one of those risks would be the demand on water, where a number of role players are involved. We were advised at the last forum meeting that the weather patterns would slowly change, hopefully, by the end of April, and that we should have more rain going forward in the season. So as a forecast, that is what's being said in terms of weather patterns. So just a bit of information to council.
Thank you very much for that insight, Councillor van Dijk. Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just one last question from my side is that I just want to check through you, Madam Speaker, to Mr. Naidu. How big of a chunk of water, percentage-wise, is moss gas used from Mossel Municipality? Seeing that the refineries is off, there's nothing happening. Yeah, just to check. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkhonto. Before Mr. Naidu responds.
Madam Speaker, Director Naidu. Enkosi Director Naidu ngingcaciso. Umbuzo eninawo mna Director Naidu. Into yokuba ngokwe-capacity yala madama nokunyuka kwenamba okanye i-growth yenamba yabantu abakhoyo eMossel Bay. I-capacity yala madama ingathatha for ixesha elingakanani ukuseva aba bantu bonke ngokwe-population ukunyuka kwayo? And the nasika ndifuna ukwazi into yokuba in terms of leakage mangaphi inamba yamanzi elahlekayo kwinto ye-leakage? Ndicinga uba i-report isayifumana mos ngokwe-leakage, sinee-companies eziqeshiweyo ukujonga loo nto. Athina amacebo ukukhawulela naloo nto.
Thank you, Councillor Mkhonto. Director Naidu, you can respond. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. Yeah, the first question around PetroSA. PetroSA used to use, when they were in full operation, full production, around 15 megaliters per day. In fact, but them not running currently, we are actually having the benefit of more water. So if PetroSA was running, then we would have had to impose restrictions much earlier. So we're just lucky at this stage they're not running at full capacity, so they're not drawing 15 megaliters per day. Okay, then the second question, and I have mentioned it earlier on, I think Councillor didn't hear me. Based on the current growth of around 2% per annum, around 2034, we have enough water to, and if I look at what's available at the different dams, and if the Clippyville Dam is in full operation, etc., then we've got water until 2034. But that is not taking our boreholes and the desalination plant into consideration, just based on the dams. Okay. Leakages, I think that's a report that's submitted to the committees on a monthly basis, and our leakage is around 15%, which is actually quite good. But there's various initiatives in place, the replacement of water meters, pipelines, and we know where the problem areas are and where pipe replacement has to take place, etc. But we're following that very, very closely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Naidu. There's no follow-up questions from any councillor. The item thus carries and we take note thereof. Thank you very much for your insight and for responding to all the questions. Item E92, writing off irrecoverable debts for the period ending April 2026. We have the recommendation listed before us. And the amounts, can I please ask for a proposal?
Madam Speaker, I'll propose, thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman Furness. Can I have
Madam-
seconder?
Madam Speaker, I will second. Thanks.
Councillor Baron is seconding. Any questions of clarity? Councillor Kwaza, you may proceed.
Enkosi, Madam Speaker.
Sorry.
Madam Speaker, siyabulela ngoba kuyiwe kwenziwa i-outreach. But njengoba kusenziwa as outreach kuyiwe bahlalini. Ingabe kwenziwa njani ukuba kwenziwe njani ukuba kuyafikelela kubantu bonke kuba asiva loud tail eyenzekayo and noceba abaxelelwa ukuthi ngemini ethile bakhunjuzwe ngemini ethile kuzawubakho le outreach. Ukuba uyabona kwanonqaba bekiwe kwanonqaba hall umonqaba mkhulu also sinayo neAsla sinayo neJoe Slovo. Inkosi.
Thank you, Councillor Kwaza.
Yeah,
All
Speaker.
right, the MM will respond to your question,
Yeah,
Councillor Kwaza.
Speaker, I'm gonna ask Councillor Mr. Yanni Fourie, the head of income, to respond. His department is responsible for holding these outrages. They reported to me that the people, when they do these outreaches, they don't get hundreds of people attending. So there is a problem, Councillor Kwaza, and if you say that the councillors don't know when these outreaches will be where, we must rectify it because we cannot do this without the cooperation of the ward councillors to sensitize people in their wards that the municipality will be at a certain place, certain time and date, so that the people can come up. It's no use you put two officials down in a hall for 4 or 5 hours and they see 10 people. We want to see the poorest of the poor coming out because those are the people that we want to reach, and that's why we're doing the writing of the people whom we do reach, who comes to us, and you can see it's a lot of people who come to us. But I'll give over to Mr. Fourie if he wants to augment speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fourie. You can proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. Yeah, we do drives on a regular basis. We try to get to all the wards. So if there's specific places where you need additional drive, we are more than willing to assist with that. And we actually need assistance from councillors as well to promote these drives because, as the municipal manager said, they are not well attended at all. And we don't only do indigent drives. We also do AOD drives. Like if there's debt on specific accounts, you can come to us and make the necessary arrangement if you do not qualify as an indigent. Or we also promote pensioner discounts and all the discounts that we do have at these forums and at these meetings. So if there's additional areas that you need, we are more willing to assist at those areas. But as I said, they are not well attended, and we do make use of our social media. Cornell and them are advertising these drives, but we do need more assistance, maybe from the Wijksraadslede and so forth, to get the message out there when we will be where. So yeah, that's all that I can add, Municipal Manager.
Thank you very much for your comprehensive feedback. Councillor Mkuntu, you can proceed with your question.
Madam Speaker, I don't have a question. I have a request, so that the councillor can just note that I requested the outreach in my ward 15 Asla Park Wall.
Thank you very much. It's Mr. Fourie, Councillor Mkonto. So there's a request for Ward 15. I do concur with the feedback from Mr. Fourie because the finance department also did ask me several times as we had this discussion in council with reference to the various sites that they need to visit. We had a in-depth discussion in terms of the role that in particular ward councillors must play. So I would also like to invite you to give ideas to the finance department because the officials go out. I have seen the roster, I've seen that they visit various sites, but then we only have 5 to 10 people in the area that come to these events, and we take that to the community so that people don't have to pay taxi fare and come here and rather buy a bread or electricity, and we must as councillors give the relevant support. So I also just want to emphasize that. And thank you, Yanni, for taking also that forward. Councillor Mkonto now mentioned that he wants one in his ward, which is Ward 15. I'm going to give Councillor Gwaza an opportunity for follow-up, and then Councillor Debula, and then Councillor Kibet. You may proceed in that order. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We thank you so much for that. That's why we said that we as councillors, we need to be informed about this so that we can be able to inform the community. As well as that we suggested that the loud hailing also does assist, so people, they can be aware of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You covered. Thank you very much. That's only to note. And then a request, Director Potgieter, in terms of the Public Participation Office that needs to play a role. Councillor Kiewit, you're the last one before we conclude on this item.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Speaker, dit is 'n aanwesenlike probleem vir ons gemeenskappe. Ek sien dit ook by die IDPs en mense, die amptenare gaan daar, maar dit word swak ondersteun. En ek dink die fokus moet wees op die mense self ten opsigte van om hierdie meetings by te woon. Want dit gaan ons niks baat, ons sit hier en elke keer as die amptenare uitgaan en hulle hou hierdie meetings, niemand daag op nie. Dit is nie, dis is vrugteloos, dis is geld waste. So ons moet die aandag plaas op ons mense om sodat hulle kan sensitief raak ten opsigte van wanneer die munisipaliteit meetings hou, sodat hulle geïnform kan word oor watter stappe moet hulle doen. En dan dink ek hierdie probleem waar die presence op die council is ook rus, waar hulle elke hier nou en dan issue inbring in council en ten opsigte van issues wat klaar aangespreek is, sal ook dan opstop. Ek dink mense moet fokus, miskien moet die councillors en die bestuur van die munisipaliteit eendag maar net buitekant toe gaan en vir die mense clear sê hele involvement is absent wanneer ons sekere issues wil uitrol in ons gemeenskap. Ek dink die mense is 'n bietjie taf en ram vir alles winter, maar hier goede moet gedoen word en onze mense moet op 'n manier moet ons hulle dissipline ook en vir hulle sê is ten opsigte van julle self dat julle moet kom en nie ten opsigte van ons discuss dit, ons bespreek ons vind maniere om na die gemeenskap toe te kom, maar as gemeenskap dan dit nie wil bywoon nie, dan is daar 'n lek, daar's 'n probleem en die probleem kom council toe dan. So ek sal dit aanraai dat ons iets daaromtrent moet doen, Speaker. Baie dankie.
Thank you for your input, Councillor Kiewit. It's much appreciated. Mr. Fourie also take note thereof. Councillors, there's no objection to the item. Agreed to, it does carry unanimously. We then move to item E93, disposal of capital assets. Can I ask for a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Wellman. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will second the item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Setunsha. Is there any questions on this item? No objections, agreed to, the item carries. We then at item E94, progress report, deceased estate, transfers to beneficiaries. We have our recommendations listed, 1 to 4. Can I ask for a proposer?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll gladly propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Furness, for gladly proposing. Can we have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, and I will gladly second.
Thank you, Acting Deputy Mayor, for gladly seconding the item. This is very important item. If you look at the recommendation number 4, that after the trial project, a full report be referred back to Council for consideration. I think this is a very, very good item that is serving before Council this morning. Is there any questions of clarity? I expected Councillor Buddha to put on his light. Who's first? Where's the red light? All right, there's the red light for Councillor Buddha. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as you said, it's a good thing, this item for UP Taylor, we see. But in a broader picture, Madam Speaker, you see, all the wards in Mossel, as you see this list, these people, they pass on for the households. We're supposed to have what they call the provision, Madam Speaker, to make what they call a bylaw of, in order to help the poorest of the poor. Because we keep on saying, if these people outside, they've been paid by the government to pay electricity 50 kilowatts free, 6 kiloliters of water free, and then they are unable to pay the lawyer of the attorney 30,000 for the car and transport. If you can just look at that picture, so in future we make a provision. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much for your input. We definitely take note thereof, Councillor Buddha. There's no objection to this item. It does carry unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. We then move to item E95, upgrading and extension of parking area. This is a portion of Urban 2 and 4940 in Hartenbos, which is situated adjacent to Tilbach, Compagnia and Witwatersrand Avenues in Hartenbos. And the application is by the Hartenbos Spa Extension. We have the recommendations listed before council. Can I please ask for a proposal?
Madam Speaker, I'm going to ask that as the ward councillor, this item is referred back for more information, please.
Thank you very much. The ward councillor is referring this item back, and it will thus serve at a later stage. I rule as such. Thank you very much. We then move to item E96. Ja, Raadslid Baron.
I will second this because there must be a seconder.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you, Councillor Baron. So the ward councillor is proposed and Councillor Baron seconded. The item be referred back. Item E96, proposed lease of Earth 14136 in Mossel Bay, which is situated at Skuman and Horizon Street by the Western Cape Government, Department of Infrastructure. Can I ask for a proposal, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will propose.
Councillor Furness is proposing. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second item.
Alderman Dalamain is seconding. Is there any questions on this item? No objections, agreed to. It does carries. Thank you very much. We're at item E97. Application for the renewal of the lease agreement of a municipal building situated on 4910 in Great Brack River, which is known as the Municipal Hall, as well as a portion of 4910, also in Great Brack River, by the Vlinderland Creek. You have the recommendations in front of you, councillors. Can I ask for a proposal?
I propose, Speaker.
Thank you very much. We also take note of a public participation process that will be followed. Councillor Claassen proposed. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'll second the proposal.
Thank you very much, Acting Executive Mayor. Can I have an indication if there's any questions on this item? No objections, agreed to. We then move to item E98. Proposed transfer of portion 15 of the farm Bosmans River, number 61 in Ruiterbos, Mossel Bay, from the national government of the Republic of South Africa to the Mossel Bay Municipality. Can I please ask for a proposal?
I propose, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Claassen, for proposing. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I'll second the proposal.
Thank you very much, Acting Mayor, for proposing. Is there any questions on this item? Thank you very much, Councillor Mkontu. You may proceed. Sê gou weer, ek het nou nie gehoor nie. Dankie, Raadslid Mkontu. Ek weet jy's in die vergadering. There's no objections to this item. It carries unanimously. We then move to item E99. Application for the renewal of lease for the municipal building and premises at the Kwanangaba Police Station, situated on Earth 759 on a portion of Earth 760 and 913 in Maikali Street by the National Department of Public Works. Can I have a proposer in terms of the recommendations before council?
Thank you, Speaker. I propose the item.
Councillor Mvumvu is proposing. Can I have a seconder for Councillor Mvumvu?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Councillor Wellman, thank you very much. Any questions of clarity on the item? I see the lights of Councillor Mkontu, Councillor Buddha, and then Councillor Dabula in that order. You may proceed, Councillor Mkontu.
Madam Speaker, I wanted to propose, but they were quick, more than me, but I do have a question. One of my questions maybe will be directed to the councillor that is running that Department of Safety and what. There was a promise that at least maybe by 2024, I think was 2020 that time, and 2021, that there will be a police station. Now, when we are doing this list time and again, is any promise now, or are we just doing this?
Thank you very much, Councillor Leon. I'm going to ask you to take note of the question. Councillor Buddha and then Councillor Dabula.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, with the same accord, I was going just to raise this thing again. 3 years ago, I think the commissioner was saying, Kwanangaba, stating that no, this area is so awkward, small, then they are going to try to look at alternative land so that to build a proper police station where we've got parking cars and so on and so on. So now we keep on renewing the lease. What's happening to the national government of the GNU?
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was reading the item. Food recommendations and I was funda. Le item ixesha elininzi ibisithi ngayisiza apha elist. Speaker, ize attach ward committees, ize attach ward council. But now you come to read the item, Madam Speaker. Ayikho loo nto leba makubekho input ye-ward committee including the ward council. Because the police station is under a ward. Noba government, noba iseva ise Greater Mossel Bay or Kuala. But andiyiboni loo nto leyo apha irefere lobana i-council ne-ward committees azifake input. Because the item kudala isiza. Kudala ukuliswa speaker. Sezithethile colleagues zam apha. I remember umayor sithetha apha sincoma umsebenzi ozokwenziwa ukunceda ibala abantu bebene-tournament. Si-attach nedibene i-crime. Amazwi kameya athi nxa wayethetha apha evala istatement sakhe into yobana i-police station ayihoyanga i-ANC abanceda abantu bayo. Kusitsho umeya. Now kuyaphindwa futhi nakuziswe le list again. Ekubeni ma umeya wethu athi le nto yithethile ngabahlali bakononqaba. Besingabantu be-ANC. But ke iyona i-police station ibe iseva from kononqaba to eDangabayi. Iseva wonke umuntu. Now i-question yami ithi Madam Speaker apha kuyo yonke le nto ba iphi into ethi involve i-ward committee ne-ward council kule item as bayiqhela ukwenzeka Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Debola, for your input and your objection in terms of your participation on the item. Wil u respond voor ek vir Raadslid van tyd gee?
Speaker, no, I think this is an issue. This is an issue regarding the lease of the land where the police is situated now. What the councillors speak about is everything that goes around, everything that happened around it. The building of a new police station is a separate issue. And I know there's a lot of, I think the councillor for safety has done a lot, Chairperson. The GNU, like you mentioned, is busy kicking in now. The GNU is kicking in. So I hope that in my time, while I'm still the municipal manager, we will see something, you know, groundbroken there for the new police station. But this item, councillors, is about the lease of the current property. Because if you don't support this item, Councillor Mkonto, the police station will have to close for your ward councillor. And if you look at the item says that public participation will be done. And the ward councillor will be informed so that he can inform the ward committee councillor. So you are part of this whole setup with the leasing of this land. I don't know if the councillor for safety wants to add, Chair, Speaker.
Thank you very much, MM, for providing the clarity on the lease. I will allow Councillor Van Dijk just to give insight.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I think we all know that the current police station is in a disgraceful state. That's the first point. I think we as the community and we as council have avidly, behind the scenes, worked to make sure that we bring this under the attention of the relevant departments, may it be national or local. We've also engaged by also declaring intergovernmental disputes, which I was part of. We've also had engagements with the Ombudsman. We've had engagements with the planning division of the South African Police Service at national headquarters. The shifting of the list, or on the list, I think we have no control over. It's dependent, in terms of the priority, it's dependent on what budget is available within the South African Police Service, and then only the Department of Public Works can execute if there is such a budget. Okay, so that is the issue at hand. So I think listening to the remarks, and I think that is what the Mayor is trying to explain, is to saying if there is not a budget, it cannot be executed to the other department. I can advise, through my engagements with General Setiana, that we are looking, or the forecast date, and I don't want to be held to it, is that the planning phase seems to be in order. I know that there's been discussions with the planning department, Mr. Venter's office as well, Director Venter's office, and we hope that all the drawings and etc. will be executed by the end of 2026, hopefully to go into the next phase, which would be 2027. But that's all dependent on reserves and in terms of budget. And that's the information I can give in open council, Madam Speaker. A lot is being done behind the scenes to also, besides the station, also upgrade the ranking structure so we can put more resources and manpower at that specific station. And that was also lodged by myself provincially and nationally. So this council has done everything in its power to make sure that we assist the South African Police Service by way of the planning, in terms of making land available, in terms of making sure we get the plan submitted, and in terms of the acceptance of the various departments to engage in fulfilling the building of this police station. So that I can certainly say with your indulgence. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Van Dyk, for your insight and also for informing the whole of Council. I am going to allow you a follow-up question, then we're going to resolve on the item. Councillor De Pula.
Enkosi, Madam Speaker. Asinesinyamezela umnestate sizozama ukulungisa into zokuhlala. Madam Speaker, ndamva uMM ngohlobo acacisa ngalo. But umbuzo wami usamile mhlawumbe unganginceda wena Madam Speaker through MM negqwetha lethu. Ngoba ezibandi ibuza into bana le item nxa kuliswa phayana uma kuphinde kuhlaziywe icontra maqhubekeke police station iqhubeke lapha eMunicipal idla ngoveze iward committee including ward council, then bekho input, then Madam Speaker la office ka director report ukhetela ithumele kula group WhatsApp ka ward 1 welandi ward committees, then bekho input ezithunyelwa lapha ezisupportayo ilisi le yenziwa so that ziqhubekeke iservice. It's not about against lento as ward council, but the question am why ingavelanga ngo iqhela kuvela, Madam Speaker. Na umbuzo wabukhona.
Thank you very much, Councillor De Pula. I will allow Councillor Van Dyk to respond, and then Mr. Prince will give the final remarks. Then I'm going to conclude on the item. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, the councillor through you is 100% correct. The more pressure we apply as community leaders and community members for the need of that police station, the better for all of us. It is, however, also contained in all the documents, your IDP documents, your forward planning, your annual plan. It's all in there ward for ward in terms of the requirements and the need of police stations. Not only Kwanangaba, there are other police stations needed as well. Also the upgrade of Herbertsdale police station as a fully fledged police station. So it's all contained within your IDP. So acknowledgement has been given that the community has a need, and it's so documented as well, Madam Speaker, through you.
Thank you very much for your input, Mr. Prince.
Thank you, Speaker. The councillor is 100% correct in his statements. I just perhaps from a legal side can add as well, Councillor, you're also 100% correct. During the public participation process, we get all the inputs, especially from the ward councillors, which we deeply appreciated. However, in terms of legislation, there are certain exemptions. And in one of the cases is being that if it is a transfer between the municipality and another state of organ. That's the first reason. So we didn't follow a public participation process as it's a state of organ, firstly. And then secondly, of course, the other reason is this, you can see this as an emergency. There's an interim arrangement until we get the permanent police station, and we cannot let the community be without a police station. So that's the reason for submitting this item. And the other reason, perhaps the last reason, that they are at the moment on the premises. So we can't move the police and then move them back again. So it's just a practical reason why it's done like this. But Councillor, just to ensure you that with all land transfers, we make sure that the ward councillor is known in the process. Thank you, Chair.
Jy's by 'n ander item. Jy's by 'n ander item. Toe maar ons gaan nou by jou item wees. Thank you very much, Mr. Prince, for that insight. Councillor De Bola, we indeed welcome the ward councillors' role and the ward committee. However, Mr. Prince did indicate that this is now for the lease, but your input is definitely welcome in terms of the station that we must have. Colleagues, is there any objections? I did not hear that anybody is objecting to it. All right, the item does carries unanimously, and we take note of all the input raised. We then move to item E100, the proposed lease of Earth 9350, which is situated in Mossel Bay, adjacent to Earth 9354 in Marsh Street. And this is by the Elangeni Body Corporate. The item is brought by them. We have the recommendations. Can I please ask for a proposal?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do propose the item.
Thank you, Alderman Delamain. Can I have a seconder, please?
A second, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Claassen. Is there any questions of clarity? No objections. Agreed to. The item carries unanimously. We then, on item E101, future utilization of a portion of Earth 81 in Little Brack River, which is the old power station building situated adjacent to the water treatment plant, Power Town. We have the recommendations listed before council, and I am going to ask for a proposer for council to accept. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose this item.
The ward councillor is proposing this item. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, you do. Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor van Dijk. Is there any questions of clarity? I see the light of Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You may proceed, Councillor Baron.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to check through you to Mr. Venter. This amount of demolishing the building, 6.3 million. It sounds a lot. Maybe just give us some insight. Why so many money?
Thank you very much, Councillor Baron. Is there any other council that have a question? No. I'm going to ask Director Venter, Mr. Naidu, Director Naidu, to respond to the question of Councillor Baron. Thank you very much.
All right, yeah, it is quite expensive. The reason for that, there's a lot of steel structures there, and you need specialized equipment to hold that in place. Whilst the demolition work happens, but then you also have to appoint health and safety agents, and then there is also including the price to take the material away, to transport it away from the site. So it's demolishing, then specialized equipment to deal with the steel structures there, and then to cut the material away. But whilst I'm still on this, I think what we're proposing here now is that just what's dangerous, we will demolish. So we're not going to incur this huge cost. We will just demolish whatever is dangerous, and then we will put some sort of a barrier around the building so that people will not be able to enter easily, and obviously you want to prevent injuries.
Thank you very much for providing that clarity. I see no light and I hear no objection to the item. The item does carry unanimously. Thank you very much, councillors. We then move to item E102, application for the renewal of the lease agreement for a portion 101 of the farm 2107 in Hartenbos by the Plant Park Wholesale Nursery. Can we have a proposal, please?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to propose this item.
Thank you very much, Councillor Annie Jansen van Rensburg. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do second the item.
Thank you very much, Alderman Delamain. Is there any questions on the item? No objections, agreed to. The item carries unanimously. Item E103, proposed amendment of council resolution. Item E277 of 2005, alienation of a portion of Earth 19845, which is unregistered, situated in Mossel Bay in Balfour Street by the Bitcoin Ikazi Support Center. We have the recommendations before council. Can I ask for a proposal, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker, indeed, the site I proposed.
Thank you very much, Alderman Boyson. Can I have a seconder for Alderman Boyson, please?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will second the item.
Councillor Setunsha, thank you very much. Opening up for questions of clarity, I see the light of Councillor Buddha. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this thing will come a long way. So I want just a clarity. Now, in the recommendation, I spoke about the 100,000. Then previously, when the Bitcoin Ikazi wanted us to educate the people in terms of offices and so on and so on, that land was costing $500,000. And then I see 100,000 now in this amendment. Are we dropping the price to 100,000?
Thank you for your question of clarity. Municipal manager who will be able to assist in terms of the price. Mr. Prince, can you assist?
Yes, thank you, Speaker. Yes, no, the short answer to the question is that it is deemed to be in public interest and to the community's interest, the center that's going to be erected there. And that is in terms of that, the rule, in terms of Section 40, which allows for that.
There is thus a drop in the price, and Mr. Prince indicate to council that this is for public interest, and therefore that is the recommendation. Mr. Can we give the red light to Mr. Prince?
Apologies, Councillor. I just need to mention that this is not a new price that we have determined now. Council already has approved that amount.
Okay.
So what we bring back is just with regard to amendment in the size of the earth that has changed.
Thank you very much, Speaker. If we are dropping from $500,000 to that one for the sake of the community, thank you very much.
Ward Councillor is saying thank you very much. Councillor Baron?
Madam Speaker, thank you. We are still against this item. It was here a lot of times and the price dropped and it's extra ovens that is part of it now. Bitcoin is a rich company, but they want to pay nothing. So no, we are against. Thanks.
Thank you. The Freedom Front is putting their position forward to council. They are against. Councillor Buddha and then Councillor Furness, in that order.
Oh, thank you very much, Speaker. No, if you are against, it's fine, because you are not staying there. I'm staying there. I know the need of that community. I know those people are poor. I see the Bitcoin when it took the kids to the sea, educate and come back, and then they say they want just a place, like an office, so that to make internet cafe, etc., etc. So if you are not staying there, you can be against. Thank you very much for you. But this thing, I'm staying there, is welcome.
Thank you, Ward Councillor. Councillor Alderman Mark Furness.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This agenda is carrying on too long. It should have been finished already. But I'm going to belabor the point for a little bit longer, Madam Speaker. Look, this has got nothing to do with Bitcoin. They just get paid in Bitcoin. This is a charity organization set up by a bunch of guys that actually want to help the community. So to say that they're a rich company is a total fallacy. It's actually shameful. And these guys are really putting their hearts in line to help the community in the JCC camp. So I'm sorry, I just had to give that a chirp because, I mean, Madam Speaker,
these guys, they don't have money, Madam Speaker. They rely on donations. And they are fortunate to get overseas donations. And credit to these guys, they do a bloody good job. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman Furness. We have the Freedom Front, who indicated their position that they are against. I did not hear any other comments in terms of objections. So the item does carries unanimously, no, with a majority vote. And we note that the Freedom Front is against. We then move to item E104, application for the renewal of the lease agreement, an increase in lease area of a portion of Earth 9060, situated in Mossel Bay at Sampson Street, extension 23 by the Juwelkie Krish. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Madam Speaker, I propose the item.
Ward Councillor is proposing. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, the side.
Thank you very much, Alderman Boyson. Is there any input? No objection. The item does carries unanimously. We then on item E105, Supply Chain Management Monthly Report for deviations approved for February 2026. Can I please ask for a proposer?
Madam Speaker, I'll propose. Thank you very much.
Alderman Furness is proposing. Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Wellman. Is there any Councillor Gwaza, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on the deviations, there is amount of 1.5 million for Tandabandu and also Imitambo for 652,000 that was given to these two tenders. And it has been approved by UMM for this deviation. Can we see that? Can the MM give us the written approval for the both of Utandabandu and Imitambo as it dated before payment? As MM approved that, so we need those. Can you give us the documents of the approval of those amount in two?
Thank you for your question, Municipal Manager.
Chairperson, if I understand it correctly, you want some explanation as to why the deviations was approved to Tandabandu and the other one?
Tandabandu and in Imitambo. It was Tandabandu, it's for 3 months, 30 December to 28 February. It was given a 1.5 million. And then Imitambo is for 2 months, January and February, for 605,000. And MMU did approve that, so we want to see the return of the approval.
Okay, Speaker, just for the knowledge of the councillors, the accounting officer approves all deviations. No one else can approve it.
That's correct.
And I won't have the information of every deviation that I've approved, but we've got the directors. And CFO is not here today. We've asked the head of supply chain management to also come in to give some information. I don't know, DGD, it sounds like if it's your work, and you maybe enlighten the council on it. If we may speak up.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Director Nel can proceed.
If I might, can just confirm, Councillor, that's the exact same question you asked in the committees, that one. Okay, so I'm going to give the same answer because you were satisfied then. The tender for the street cleaners, there's two parts of the tender. There is for the workers, where we pay the salaries, and then there's the admin fee for the company that implements it. And because the tender came to an end at the end of December, and the new tender could only be implemented from the 1st of March, we had to give for expansion of works in December, and January and February we had to give deviation requisitions or orders, so that the current bidder at that stage could continue until the new bidder could start.
Thank you very much for the response. Follow up by Councillor Gwaza.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you. Thank you, Director Nel. Yes, we need a proof of that. Can we get the proof?
I am gonna rule that you can take this up with the municipal manager or directly with the director in terms, because they do not have the papers in front of them. So I am gonna make a ruling as such. Do you wish to respond?
Speaker, I can assure the councillors that before I approve any deviation, doesn't matter what amount it is, there's a rigorous process that we go through, and our manager for supply chain management is very, very meticulous, is very, very strict. Before I sign it off, he gives me the assurance that everything is correct as far as it's concerned. So I will request the councillor, Speaker, it's not something we want to give proof to councillors, but the councillors they can approach him anytime, Edroy, and he will show you the proof, because it's all system driven, Speaker. Everything is on our system. There's nothing outside of the system. Everything is there. So if you approach him, he can show you everything, Speaker, with documents, everything, yeah.
Thank you very much, Municipal Manager. That item is for cognizance, but in terms of the ruling that I made, I do request that it be provided to the councillor. We then move to item E106, monthly report with regards to the supply chain management. It was before the committees. Can I ask for a proposer?
I propose, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Councillor Klaasen. Can I have a seconder?
I second, thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Annie Jansen van Rensburg. I see the light of Councillor Gwaza. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the report that it was given on supply chain, check all the tender that was awarded on the procurements. It says that when you check the no matching record found. Can I please get clarity on that?
Thank you very much, Councillor Gwaza. I'm not sure if the acting CFO can respond. Perhaps the finance chairperson. Do you have an answer in terms of clarity?
Madam Speaker, this I do not, because I do not have the report in front of me. This should be brought up in the committees, Madam Speaker, and unfortunately that is not now. I think the simplest way would be to bring it back to give the councillor feedback once the CFO is back.
Thank you very much. Councillor Gwaza indicates that that is sufficient. We then move to item E107. Thank you, Councillor Anton. We just record that Councillor Anton left the council chambers. He will be back. Item E107, review of rental, the Centre of the Homeless at the Rose and Crown Hotel. The Haven Utility Company. Can I ask for a proposal? This recommendation is in terms of a lease increase.
Yes.
Alderman Boyson.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I propose the little small increase of the rental.
Can I have a seconder? Can I have a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will second.
Thank you very much, Councillor Wellman. Is there any objections to the item? It does carries unanimously. Item E108, update of the statistics of the foot and mouth disease outbreak. This is just for council to take cognizance. Can I ask for a proposer?
Madam Speaker, I will propose, if some of you had listened this morning, you will have heard that 165,000 vaccinations have been executed in the Western Cape this morning. So I certainly propose.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leon, and thank you for sharing that to council. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I would like to second this item with pleasure.
Thank you very much for gladly seconding the item, Councillor Annie. Councillors, that is just for cognizance. We then move to item E109. Report asbestos roofs in the Mossel Bay municipal area. You will recall that this was brought in by a motion, and this is the feedback report. We have the recommendations listed before council to take cognizance of the report up until number 9. Can I please ask for proposer? Wie wil hier die item voorstel asseblief?
Speaker, I would like to propose item E109 for approval.
Thank you, Acting Mayor. Can I have a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, you do, Councillor van Dijk.
Thank you very much, Councillor Leon van Dijk. Any questions on this report? Councillor Buddha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I saw when you see the diagram, asbestos roof in Mossel Bay Municipality. I don't see just over there. We've got 522 houses. They've got roof asbestos. They were built in 1998. I don't know whether they missed or. Thank you.
Dan sal dit nou meer as die 152 miljoen kos as ons Slovo nou nie ingesluit is nie. It's a lot of money. The report indicates it as such, and Councillor Buddha is indicating that there's lots of houses in Joslovo with those rules. So it will definitely mean that the amount will increase, and it is definitely a lot of money. I see the light of Councillor Mkonto and then Councillor Leon. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, I also have the same complaint that in Asla, Ward 3 and Ward 15, I don't see them here.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mkonto, Councillor Leon, and then Director Venter can respond.
Madam Speaker, if I may just enlighten Council, it does say Mossel Bay area, so that would include the entire Mossel Bay area. I work with environmental aspects quite often. I can give you a ballpark figure that on a normal 2-bedroom house, the removal of just the asbestos roof will cost in the region of 120 to 150,000 rand per house. So that's the cost per house, and it would have escalated in the last year or so because it has seen as hazardous waste.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your input, Councillor van Dijk. Director Venter.
Thank you, Speaker. Now, just for clarity, the table as on page 735 of the report, usually or normally we include the Asla under Kwanankaba, and Joe Slover will be under the Dalmeida, the figures there. So that is, it's not broken down into very specific areas, it's broadly, and they are captured under those. But the fact remains that it is a significant amount of houses with.
Thank you very much for that clarity being provided.
Madam Speaker.
Yes, follow up,
Okay.
and then Councillor Kibet.
Can I advise, when you speak about Kwanonga or Dalmeida on any area, at least can you just have the extra column that will explain what, so at least it will be covered.
Thank you very much. The administration take note thereof. Councillor Kibet.
Madam Speaker, ek kyk net as persig in 2023. Daar's een, maar ek neem aan dis vir clarity. Ek neem aan dis die hele area wat daar is dit net die woonstel of is die hele area? En ek weet in die hele area is daar asbestos. Clarity.
Thank you for your question. Kan ons net 'n bietjie orde kry? Mense is vreeslik ongeduldig. Die raadsvergadering is waar ons belangrike besluite neem. Dit is een van die raadslede se pligte om hier te wees. Kan ons asseblief net orde kry? Mense wil klaarmaak en huis toe gaan. Maar ons moet elke item hanteer en alle vrae moet beantwoord word. Baie dankie. Direkteur Venter, kan u vir die raadslid asseblief net klarigheid gee? Baie dankie.
Dankie Speaker. Die tabel weer eens, hy verwys na munisipale woonstelle, so Bergsig is 'n woonstelkompleks. Dis waarna die verslag verwys, sowel as Seesig, sowel as die woonstelle blokke dan in Greenhaven.
Baie dankie vir daardie klarigheid. Raadslid Kiewit gee indikasie dat dit is vir hom voldoende. Municipal Manager, I am going to ask you to give your final input.
Thank you, Speaker. Ek wil nie propose of second die Speaker. Ek wil net...
Ek kan nie, amen.
Ja, ek kan nie, ja. Ek wil net vir die departement sê, baie dankie. Jy het baie werk ingegaan, oor 'n baie kort tyd. Dit spreek van efficiency en effectivity. So, meneer Venter, jy en jou departement, jou verskillende departement wat hier aan saamgewerk het, baie dankie, Speaker. Ons waardeer dit, ja.
Baie dankie, Director Venter, for the work that went into this. Councillors, if there are no other questions on this item, I do not see any light, then it is resolved. Council take note thereof, and it is very clear that it's a lot of money that we take note of in terms of being able to do repairs. I ruled at the beginning of the agenda that we will have a motion, so I am now going to allow for the motion before we proceed in committee and then to the special council meeting agenda. Thank you very much. Councillor Mbumbu, you can proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'll hand over to Alderman Furness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Alderman Furness, you may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I come in peace and I come bearing gifts. So if you will give
Gewonder jy so ongeduldig hè.
It's a nice gift, Madam Speaker. I'm very excited about my gift that I'm giving today.
Alright.
So if you indulge me, I'm going to read in a story, and I'll read it slowly that everyone can listen. Okay. Motion of Excellency, Rule 57 of the rules regulating the conduct of meetings of the Council of the Mossel Municipality. Write-off of outstanding municipal debt on accounts registered in the name of deceased estates. I'm going to read that again. Write-off of outstanding municipal debt on the accounts registered in the name of deceased estates. Okay. Now, I would like to propose...
Thank you for introducing the subject matter. Can I ask for a seconder?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Alderman Furness. No counter proposal. You may proceed, Councillor Furness.
Sure. Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Okay, here comes my story. The municipality continues to experience challenges in the recovery of long outstanding municipal debt on accounts registered in the name of deceased property owners. These accounts are attributed to the registered owners of the property who have passed on, whilst the municipal accounts remain in the deceased names for an extended period of time. These accounts are affected by delays in appointment of executives, prolonged estate administration process, the absence of formally administrated estates, and limited or no liquidity in the estates. In many instances, the accounts are registered in the names of deceased owners are linked to low-valued residential properties, where the underlying estates lack sufficient financial resources to settle outstanding municipal debt in full. As a result, these accounts remain in arrears for extended period, while the municipality continues to incur administrative and collection costs with limited prospects of successful recovery. This report, I ran away there, sorry. This report submitted for Council's consideration for the approval of write-off of all outstanding municipal debt on qualifying accounts registered in the name of deceased owners where recovery is no longer considered viable or cost-effective. Then let's quickly go. Then, in order to address the motivation for this, Madam Speaker, in order to address the long outstanding municipal debt on the accounts registered in the names of deceased owners of the low-value properties and to promote cost-effective debt management, is proposed that the following qualifying conditions are applied. So, colleagues, please listen. The municipal property value should be less than or equal to 125,000 as reflected on the municipality's approved valuation roll, which is the majority of indigent people, Madam Speaker. All registered owners of the property should be deceased. I'm not trying to be nasty, but I just want to re-emphasize that all registered owners of the property should be deceased. The aforementioned criteria specifically target instances where the prospects of recovery are limited, particularly where the assets in the deceased owner's estates are insufficient to recover the outstanding municipal obligations. In a significant number of cases, no executor is appointed due to low value of the estates and the lack of the sufficient assets to justify the formal administration process. As a result, there is no legal recognized party against whom the municipality can reasonably enforce recovery actions. Madam Speaker, this goes hand in hand with the item that we had now. The anticipated cost of continuing recovery actions, including legal processes, tracing of the hairs, and ongoing administrative follow-ups, far outweighs the potential recovery amounts and does not constitute cost-effective revenue management as envisaged by the MFMA. The extended inactivity on the accounts registered in the names of the deceased owners further increases the risks of prescription thereby exposing the municipality to potential legal and audit challenges should recovery actions be pursued at later stages. The proposed write-off is expected to reduce future debt accumulation. A significant number of accounts registered in the names of deceased owners currently reflect cancelled indigent status solely due to the arrears exceeding the allowable threshold. In terms of point 10.4.2c status solely due to the arrears exceeding the allowable threshold, reading the same sentence, sorry about that, of the municipality's management customer care, debt and customer care, credit control and debt collection, indigent and tampering policy. The indigent status is cancelled where the arrear debt on the account exceeds 120 days. The write-off of irrecoverable debt on qualifying accounts will will facilitate the reinstatement. Colleagues, please listen. This will qualify the reinstatement of the indigent status where applicable, so that people can have the opportunity to apply, thereby ensuring that qualifying households will receive the appropriate tariff relief going forward. The proposed write-off is consistent with the Mossel Municipality's valuation-based indigent framework as set out in the Mossel Municipality Customer Care, Credit Control, Debt Collection and Indigent and Tampering Policy. Whew, mouthful, eh? Residential properties with a valuation of 125,000 or less are classified as being unable to sustain long-term municipal debt and ordinarily qualify for indigent assistance in terms of council policy. Where the above qualifying conditions are met, it is proposed that 100% of the outstanding municipal debt be written off. Colleagues, please listen, 100%. Unlike with the MPOs, this is 100%. This is not that we're making an agreement, this is 100% write-off. The financial implications is the total value of the municipal debt proposed to be written off in respect of qualifying accounts registered in the name of deceased owners amounts to 19,001,543 rand and 70 cents. A substantial portion of the debt has already been impaired in accordance with the municipality's accounting policies and the applicable GRAP standards relating to the recognition of municipal financial assets. So I'm getting caught in mouth now, I'm reading too long. Then the recommendation, Madam Speaker, the recommendation is approve the write-off of all outstanding municipal debts qualifying accounts registered in the name of deceased owner subject to the qualifying conditions. The qualifying conditions are the property value should be less or equal to 125,000 and all registered property owners should be deceased. Madam Speaker, that is my story, that is my proposal, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank the CFO, Yanni, and the finance team, and the municipal manager and the legal team for bringing this to us. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Alderman Furness, for the recommendations and for proposing it. Can I ask for a seconder?
No, Madam Speaker, I'm not the seconder. Let me second. But
Is u seker?
I also want to have a 5 minutes caucus after it.
Okay.
Thank
Net
you.
'n oomblik, laat ons net gou met die voorsteller wat raadslid Furness is en Eva dan sekondeer. All right, so we have a seconder. Opening up for questions. Is there any counter proposal to that? No. So we're opening up for questions. I heard from the Freedom Front that they want a 5-minute caucus. Councillor Buddha?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's an interesting story, what you are reading. But you want 10 minutes caucus as a ANC. 10 minutes, just here.
10-minute caucus granted. Councillors, in the meantime, can have a cup of coffee or tea. And then if you want to engage Councillor Furness with the recommendations, you can do so. Council will reconvene in 10 minutes' time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Council will now reconvene. I will give an opportunity to the Freedom Front and then the ANC to give feedback to council.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Speaker, I'm glad that I was the seconder of this item. I was just checking between the item that already served, 94, item 94, just to check the different categories. So I think this item is the biggest headache of every councillor sitting here, and that will solve a lot of our headaches. So thank you very much for proposing, Mark. I'm the seconder, and we are happy. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much for the feedback of the Freedom Front. ANC, Councillor Buddha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm going to write slowly so that everybody must know.
Take all the time that you want.
We are welcome the motion which was raised previously by the ANC, who are not against this proposal, but we want just to make an amendment, this motion, of to add something. Even the title deeds holder, in other words, private property. You see here in Municipality, we've got people who've got title when it is supposed to be attended by municipality render services. They say, no, it's a private property. If we can just attach those people also, because we've got 85% of the people outside, which they are right poorest of the poor, and they are qualified as an indigent. So when we are making what we call an outreach, please let us form what committees, what councillor, and so on, so that as the Freedom Front and the ruling parties say, so that we must not miss this opportunity to task the people so that they must be on board. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you have an amendment to the recommendations. You have one small amendment. Yeah, it must be seconded.
I second the small amendment with a big impact.
All right. Can Councillor Buddha, can you just please read that again so that Councillor Furness as the proposer and Councillor Baron can know exactly what you are proposing in terms of an amendment. All right.
Thank you very much, Speaker. We are saying just, we must, as we are saying in the motion, we must touch everybody, so that we say we touch everybody, even those they've got title deeds, title holder, in other words, private property, so that everybody must be on board when this item go through.
Okay, you're not understanding. All right.
Madam Speaker, as far as I understand, everybody is on board on this. There is this is a holistic.
And it
The
includes
proposal includes everyone, private property, the whole works. It's if you've got a title deed, it's for the deceased estates under 125,000. So it's basically to reach the
it
person.
covers everything.
Everybody, Madam Speaker.
MM is confirming. All right. Councillor Buddha. All right. Are you comfortable that there is confirmation in terms of what you've been proposing? All right. We have the Freedom Front who's in support. Does the ICDP want to go on record?
We support, Speaker.
Thank you very much. The ICDP is on record. Colleagues, there is no objection to the motion that was carried in by Councillor Furness, and it was seconded by Councillor Baron. This is indeed a very, very, very good council decision in the interest of all the residents. I think this deserves a round of applause. And I'm definitely going to request that Councillor Furness prepare a video after the council meeting for all of us. Aidan, please take note of that so that we can send this out and to the administration to also process this accordingly. And thank you for the work that went into this. That brings us to the end of the open council meeting.
Chairperson.
Yes, Councillor Mkonto.
Can we please get a copy?
Okay,
the
we will
motion?
provide you. Yes, we will provide you.
No, we want to check our amendment will be part of that.
I've already resolved. Thank you, Councillor Mkonto. We will give you a copy. Thank you, Ronel, for the service that you did today, and also to our language interpreter. There's no members in the gallery, and we will now move into in committee. Thank you very much.